Coming up on Let's Get to the Points.
14 points per dollar dining. That's crazy. And how do we get that? I want to know.
So American Express has this new offer for referrals. This promotion will allow you to earn an additional 10 points per dollar on whatever card you use to refer somebody.
So for example, I can refer my husband to one of the cards, and even if he gets the pop-up, he could still apply for it and just keep it in the sock drawer or something.
Yeah, use it sparingly.
And later.
And in fact, I was able to score a bucket list flight recently, flying on the Etihad A380 apartment. Sorry, Serena. But
No apology needed for Serena for the Etihad flight.
Speak for yourself, man.
We almost got through the episode without mentioning it.
Oh my God.
Now, let's get to the points. She loves to pretend being a crazy rich Asian. It's Serena. Sometimes his journey is the destination. It's Miguel. She takes family budget travel to another level. It's Nicole. And he only lies flat over the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. It's Mitch Shannon.
Hi there, and thank you for joining us on Let's Get to the Points audio and video podcast, where we bring you the very best in tips and tricks in the world of miles, points, and travel. I'm Mitch Shannon, joined by my co-hosts who eat, drink, and sleep everything in points, miles, and travel. First up, the second most popular YouTuber in her house, according to her kids, just behind Mr. Beast. It's Serena.
Hi, everyone.
This guy happily takes unpaid time off to travel. It's Miguel.
Hey, what's up?
And she'll never mark you tardy for being late from your trip. It's Nicole.
Hey guys, how are you?
Please help us out by clicking that subscribe button now to our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you watch or listen. Also, give us a like and leave us a comment below and let us know what you think about our show. Now it's time to do it. Let's get to the points. All right, it's been a big past couple of weeks in points, miles, and travel from ANA, Hyatt, Turkish, American Airlines, Alaska Airlines, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of those and, other changes as well. So we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But first, we've got a meetup and people are very excited about this.
Yes, so we're going to have a RSVP link. Check the show notes so you can click on that and RSVP and let us know if you're going to be there. It doesn't cost anything, but we just want to know how many people will be there to know whether or not we need a bigger space or not.
We're headed to the Windy City and we hope that you guys can join us. We know it's a work day, but we hope to make it worth your while. We're going to have lots of fun. We're going to reveal a couple of secrets. And yeah,
Spill the tea.
we're going to spill the tea. Come and join us in Chicago at the Hyatt in Rosemont.
And I think it's a really important note that you made, Serena, that this is free. We're not going to be charging people. We're not trying to sell you anything. We just want to get together. We want to hang out with you and talk points and miles. That's it. It's that simple.
So remember, it's Tuesday, June 25th at the Hyatt by the airport, and we hope to see you there.
Are we going to record an episode, Miguel?
Yeah, I think we should.
Did everybody book their flights?
Yes, I have
Yeah.
2 flights.
I did not.
Me neither.
Of course you didn't.
This goes to show how everybody is about planning flights. Nicole, of course, is always on top of it. The rest of us,
Yeah.
we'll eventually get to it.
Uh,
But don't worry, all 4 of us will be there.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to seeing you. Also, we've got something else, too. We got a brand new promo code for Seats.aero.
So our new promo code is Let's Get 20 to save $20 off the annual plan with Seats.aero.
And how many alerts do you have, Serena?
Ooh, thousands.
More than 20.
As Nicole would say, an F ton.
An F
An
ton.
F-ton. That's right. But now that we've gotten the housekeeping stuff out of the way, I want to start with something that's kind of big. 14 points per dollar dining. That's crazy. And how do we get that? I want to know.
So American Express has this new offer for referrals. This promotion will allow you to earn an additional 10 points per dollar on whatever card you use to refer somebody. Now, whoever you refer doesn't have to apply for the same card that you have. So if they get approved for any other American Express card, you still get your additional 10 points per dollar. Now, if you refer somebody from your gold card that earns 4 times points for dining, that's a total of 14 points for dining using your gold card. If you use a business gold card, that could also earn up to 4 points per dollar. dollar for dining. And if you refer somebody using that card, you get the additional 10 for 14 points per dollar. So now if you don't have the gold card or the business gold card, that's okay. Whatever card you use to refer somebody, that's still going to get an additional 10 points per dollar. So if you have maybe a platinum card or a business platinum card, the additional 10 points per dollar is going to give you a total of 11 points on dining. Now, this offer doesn't mean it completely changes the multiplier indefinitely. The promotion is only going to last for 3 months and up to $25,000 in spend for dining to take advantage of this promotion.
This is very exciting for me. This is how I think you could maximize this opportunity. If you usually go out to happy hour with your friends or go out for breakfast or tea, lunch, brunch, any of these things with your friends, ask them if you could pick up the tab and then they could either Venmo you or send you the money and earn the points on that.
And if you have children who play sports and you go out to eat a lot with them, that's a big, big bill. I've had $1,300 bills with my soccer team. Well, not my soccer team, my daughter's soccer team. I've picked up the bill and then everybody else pays me back. So that could really add up. If you're looking at 14 times the points on a spend like that, it's very impressive.
That bill would be enough to get you a one-way ticket to Europe in economy. So it's a pretty
That's
good deal.
right.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
And if you're having trouble referring someone, think about referring someone in your household. So for example, I can refer my husband to one of the cards. He could look at them and maybe sign up for a no annual fee card. And even if he gets the pop-up, he could still apply for it and just keep it in the sock drawer or something.
Yeah, use it sparingly.
Use it sparingly.
Buy some gum here and there.
And at least you are getting 11x to 14x.
You know what I do with those sock drawer cards? I put them on like my parking meters. So here in Miami, when you go downtown or something, you have to pay by phone. That's what I use the sock card drawers for. So every couple of months, there's some transaction going on those.
So they don't close it on you. That's
Correct.
a good idea.
Wait, is it sock drawer card or card?
It's the card that you put in the drawer that you forget about. Whichever drawer. It might be a junk drawer.
Oh, yeah. Junk drawers are good too.
Yeah.
Math teacher, help me. I'm just thinking about this in my head because, Paula and I, we spend maybe about $1,000 a month in dining. So if I get this, right?
Damn.
Well,
Just
Is
the
that
two of you too.
yeah.
Damn.
Well, we travel a lot and there's a lot of expenses. So I do that and I just say I get the 10, that's 10,000 right there. And then I add another 4 and then that's what? Help me with my math. 14,000.
14 times. There you go.
14 times 3 months is...
On the
38,
spot.
38.
52?
No, I don't know.
No, 42. 42. Ding, 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 ding.
42. Yes. So that's not a bad chunk of change for doing one of these referrals.
It's like a mini sign-up bonus.
Half of a business class ticket. Well, yeah, with all the devaluations, yeah, 2/3 of a business class ticket. Somewhere in there. On your way to a business class ticket. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
I wouldn't say no to 42,000 points. So yeah, that's a great little nugget of information that we just shared there as well. So let's move on because I just got back yesterday and we went to the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar because you want to talk about expensive. That place is expensive as... I'm just going to be honest about it.
Is the right word you want to use?
I think the right word should start with the letter F, maybe.
Like, I got it. Expensive as frick.
Well, then we don't get to use
No,
the cuckoo clock. Yeah.
Oh, you want? I was
do
trying to avoid the cuckoo clock. Okay.
As the kids would say, expensive AF.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that one. AF. We booked this trip a couple of months ago, and I've talked about this trip over the life of the podcast. We talked about how I booked it, all the changes we made along the way. And now that we've actually done the trip, I'm left feeling a little disappointed, overwhelmed, a little bit let down. First off, let me start with the good stuff. So we booked the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar for 25,000 Hyatt points per night for 3 nights. So about a month ago, I got an alert from MaxMyPoint that a standard suite had opened up, and I decided why not burn a certificate for that. And when we arrived, they actually had double upgraded us further into the 1-bedroom suite on the reserve side of the property, and that's branded as an upscale experience apart from the Grand Hyatt. So, I want to give a little credit where credit is due for the room because it was like this oasis in this big crowd of people there. And the other good thing is my mother-in-law, she had a really great time. She really enjoyed it. So There you go. I think that's all that matters at the end of the day. So, questions about the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar, because Nicole, I know you are going there, and Miguel, I think you're on your way too.
And I have been there before.
That's right. And Serena, you have been there. I watched your archive highlights on your Instagram page, and it really, really helped me navigate the property, and all the tips were just perfect. So, questions, discussion, debate, let's go.
I want to know, what does it cost to eat dinner as a family of 4? Let's just get right in there, no. Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah,
Does that need a cuckoo clock? Does that need a cuckoo clock?
I think the censors are gonna take care of that one. Yeah. We need our G rating.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God. Okay, sorry.
Oh, straight to the point. Yeah.
Let's get to the point. Yes.
Well, while we're at it, it's expensive. It really is to eat for 4 people at that place. So we went to Sticks, and I would say it's probably one of their lower end restaurants. So for the 4 of us, and we didn't really buy any alcohol, we couldn't get out of there for $200 total for the 4 of us. Easily $50 per person that we paid to eat there.
No alcohol.
Yeah. We didn't really order any alcohol as well. So that's just the food. And I ordered the pad thai. That was not pad thai. They do not put mushrooms in pad thai. And
if anybody would know, you would know.
right?
Right.
And it was so salty. It wasn't even good. So yeah.
This is your problem, Mitch. I don't get Asian food at non-Asian restaurants.
Like, mushrooms isn't even a thing in the Bahamas. Like, what is that?
Maybe Sticks is supposed to be Asian.
It is. Yeah. We used to have one here in Florida. But it was like one of those Asian places that was in the mall. Like that.
Yeah. It's like Asian. It's like P.F. Chang's.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Asian fusion.
Asian fusion. Yeah. It was yeah. Inspired.
But that's funny because Sticks is supposed to be one of those restaurants that is supposed to be on the lower end. Like, it doesn't cost as much as one of the higher end restaurants. I did not go to Sticks. What was your most expensive meal there, Mitch?
The most expensive meal that we had is, so the first night we did room service. And
of course.
Yes, of course. We were,
Of course.
That's just us. That's our middle name. First off, the meal, horrible. So we got the pasta, and this was not marinara sauce. This was ketchup is what it was. Pasta was way overcooked, and it was, for the 4 of us, it was $300. And once again, we didn't really order alcohol. So yeah, it's like Maldives pricing, and it's not even good. That's the problem.
Oh, God.
So Mitch, you keep saying we didn't really order alcohol, so not absolute. So I want to know what alcohol was ordered. You don't have to tell me who drank it. I'm curious of what drinks, what cocktails were ordered.
Got it. So they did give us a complimentary bottle of champagne for Mama's birthday. So that's what we did have. And then we had our drink coupons from being globalists. So they no longer have a lounge there, which with the amount of people that were there is probably a good thing, because if I went into that lounge and it had that many people in it, I probably would have turned right around and walked out. So they give you the drink coupons, and we kind of took full advantage of those. We would use them at the breakfast buffet for mimosa, and then we use them in the afternoon at the pool bar too.
How many do you get?
So they give you 1 per day. And because we were really nice on check-in, they gave us 2 extra. So we had a total of 5 each. So that was 10 drinks. So
1 per day per adult.
Still not enough to make up for the $200 and $300 room service.
Yeah.
Okay, can I interject?
Please.
Please.
Okay, so I do a lot of research before my trips. And with Baha Mar, there is a Facebook group. I've talked about it before, and I learned so much about Baha Mar before going. Baha Mar is the kind of place where you have to bring a suitcase full of food if you want to save money. I know that's not your style, Mitch, but that's my style. This is a bring your portable hot water kettle, and it's very, very common when you book your transportation from the airport to your hotel, a lot of times they do include, or you can request a stop at a grocery store where you can stock up on all the items that you need for your stay there without having to buy all the food on property. So that's what a lot of families do. They make a pit stop at a grocery store before you head to the property so that you can get all that stuff. You can get like sandwich items. You could get food that, is easy to make in your room. That really helps reduce the cost.
So that is a good tip, Serena. And we did do that. We stopped at the grocery store on the way. But here's the problem. The cantaloupe, just for this random example, as we're going through the grocery store, one cantaloupe. How much would you pay for a cantaloupe?
I don't know. I don't do the grocery shopping.
Serena, what do you do?
I can't. I make adult money.
Oh, well, adult money, $6 for one cantaloupe at this grocery store that we stopped at.
That sounds like a lot.
It is.
Yeah, I don't eat cantaloupe. I have no idea. No point of reference.
Oh, box of cereal, that was like $7.
Oh, that's a lot. I know that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So everything in the grocery store, it was still like the prices were up there. So yeah.
Okay, so the box of cereal you bring from home, just so you know, viewers.
I'm done.
Did you use my guy Reggie for your transportation, or did you just decide to go with someone else?
Well, we went with Cheryl's because your whole comment about whether he would have seatbelts or not kind of like made the family think twice.
Seatbelts. You're in the island. You don't need seatbelts.
I said only some of the seats don't have seatbelts. Just some of them. Not all of them.
You don't need the seatbelts. It's fine. It's optional.
I will say, though, Cheryl's was really great. They did a really good job.
They take credit cards, and they're a little bit more expensive than Reggie.
How much was your transfer to and from the airport?
So we didn't go directly to the Grand Hyatt Baha. So the first night we got in really late. I didn't want to waste a bunch of Hyatt points, and I had a couple of Marriott certificates. So we stayed at the Courtyard Marriott in the Bahamas. That place is horrible. But here's the thing, the cash rate for that place, like $400 some a night. So I can't believe people would pay that much for that, but that's what we did. Stayed there the first night. So to get from the airport to the Courtyard, I want to say, I'd have to go back and look at my notes. I think it was about $40 that we paid, and it was a quick cab ride there. The next day, it was $33 to make the stop for 30 minutes at the grocery store. And I think it was an additional $35 to go from the Courtyard to the Grand Hyatt Baha.
Well, they charged you to stop at the grocery store?
So the transportation just to get from the Courtyard Marriott to the Grand Hyatt Baha was $35. But to make the 30-minute stop at the grocery store was an additional $33. Yeah.
I don't think Reggie would charge that much.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
You had to pay $33 to get a $7 box of cereal and an overpriced cantaloupe.
Yeah.
I'm writing this down.
I think, Serena, you're spot on. So you need to pack as many snacks as you can, like cup of noodles. We packed a bunch of crackers, whatever you can, because when you go in, they pretty much, don't say Mitch said this, but unofficially, like if it's packaged, you could probably, they didn't check us through customs, right? They just kind of waved us on. So that was mine, but it may be different for you. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I think you're exactly spot on, because this place, in my opinion, it can be a complete money pit if you let it, because we were walking back and Paul wanted to go to the poke stand and, get the poke bowl, $40 for the poke bowl. I fell for the trap of the mango smoothie, which was next door. So I'm like, oh, I want one of those. Because, it was in a pineapple. It was cute. I fell for the gimmick. I'm all about gimmicks. So get one. And then I'm like, God, it's expensive with the pineapple. I'll just do the cup. Get the cup with all the service fees and everything. So 2 of those was $40, $20 each for this mango smoothie that we got. $40. I would say my advice is, if you're going to go, you need to do what Serena says. You need to have a plan about how much you're going to spend and what you're going to spend.
So for smoothies, there's this place outside the water park. You have to exit the property and they have much cheaper smoothies. This is what I learned from the Facebook group. And you can get alcohol in those smoothies too.
Ooh.
Much cheaper.
Now you got my attention.
So when I hear Mitch saying all of this is what I envision in like the 20 seconds he was speaking. Number 1, fly Southwest because you get 2 free check bags. Number 2, in these check bags, apparently I'm putting a blender, a hot water kettle,
cereal,
an air fryer because, if you have 2 or 3 bags, why not?
Why not? Right.
A cooler so I can also bring my frozen cantaloupe to make said smoothie.
I have brought my Instant Pot in my bag before to make like mac and cheese in the hotel rooms and stuff. An entire Instant Pot I have checked in a bag.
Listen, my family better not say anything about me, okay? Never have I ever bring a pot on a trip. Never. Nicole brought her rice cooker. She travels with that rice cooker everywhere.
Yes.
So what I'm getting is pack your own food, get there, check in, and stay in your room because you won't be tempted to spend money.
That's it. Yeah.
The water park is free, so you could do that for free.
I got to look at the map so we can go like around all the restaurants and stuff and not see them because then the kids will want mango smoothies.
For $20.
That's a good idea, Miguel, because I think you really need to kind of plan it out before you go. Say in your head, we can go here, or we can go there. The other thing too, and this is just so random, I don't know why, but it just kind of burned me a little bit. When you go in and you look at the fees, right? So because we were on an award stay and we're globalists, we didn't have to pay that resort fee. But part of it is they give out free sunscreen for you. That's part of the resort fee. Well, what's not mentioned in that is that sunscreen's not at the water park and it's at the pool. It's certain towel stands. You kind of got to go look for it. And then it's like these big jugs that come with a pump and they give you like a little cup to pump it in. And that's your free sunscreen that you're
like
getting.
You're getting ketchup or
Exactly.
Yes.
So get your sunscreen before you go to the water park, because if you go to the water park, it's like $40 for sunscreen.
So families bring our own sunscreen.
My wife takes care of that.
We need the tear-free version. We need the version for sensitive skin.
That's a good way to spend your $50 Saks credit with your Amex Platinum.
Yes.
Get the fancy sunscreen.
Yeah, they have the good sunscreen. You get like a little bottle, but it's $50.
I was about to say, it's like this size.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've used it like the past 3 times.
All right. I think this Bahamar trip is going to be, let's get to the points, 75% of the crew.
Wait a minute. Mitch still needs to tell about the rest.
Yeah.
Tell us more, Mitch.
There's more.
Oh, there's more.
Oh.
There's more.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Let's
Buckle
go.
it up. Strap in tight and hold on.
Is there seatbelts or no seatbelts?
There's a charge for that.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's talk about the water park. I think your kids, Nicole, I think they would get kind of bored with the water park. I think the water park is more designed for kind of Serena's kids.
Not mine, but mine.
He forgot you had kids.
Oh, dear.
Because, you're flying Singapore suites everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Miguel, your kids, I think they're going to love it because they had all these play areas for kids like the 3 to 15 age range. Mm-hmm. They had these water slides. They had this whole play area they would really enjoy. So your kids, I think they would really enjoy the water park. You could probably go every day you're there and they wouldn't get bored. They'd have a lot of fun. But Nicole, your kids, I think they would get over it really fast because there's not that many adult water slides. There's probably like maybe 4 or 5, and that's it.
I agree with that comment. Bahamar Water Park is great for the littler kids. And Nicole, you would want to take your kids to Atlantis. That's where they would have the most fun.
So what I try to do, because I did the status match in Atlantic City, and I do get 2 nights at the Atlantis resort. I was trying to see if I could double book, just pay the resort fee so that we would have access to the park. But we were booking during 4th of July weekend, and that's a blackout date. With every comment is like one more nail in the coffin.
You can still use the Comfort Suites Paradise Island route.
I could, but like when I think about all the math, I'm like, okay, it would be at minimum 50,000 Hyatt points. And those points are pretty valuable. Then I'm using my JetBlue credits from my American Express to get over there. Plus I have a no seatbelt transfer that I have to pay for, $200 worth of food for my kids to kind of enjoy the water park.
Per day.
Per day. With that, I'm out.
Hold on. Mitch might have more.
Okay. All right.
Mitch, do you have more?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I will say, and I'm probably going to get judged about this and slammed in the comments, but it's just how it goes. So every bill that we had a service charge already on there. I didn't add any gratuity or tip beyond that. I'm way beyond tipping at this point. The tipping point for tipping for me has passed because if you're hitting me with this big service charge, I'm not going to give you any more because I'll be really honest. The service there, it wasn't good. It wasn't memorable. It wasn't pleasant. It was more of like, I'm there and this is my job and that was it. So service charge, I'm not leaving extra gratuity. That's it.
I agree with that. It's a massive, massive resort. Grand Hyatt itself has 2 huge towers. And then there's the Rosewood and then the SLS property. It's just, there's so many people there and so many rooms. So you're not going to get the service that you get at the Waldorf Astoria Maldives.
And that's the other thing that I would say too, is you got to be okay with people because there were so many people at that property. Because I wanted to get really good video of this property. I wanted to do a special edition episode of this. So I resorted to getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go take video because no one was awake or around at that time to kind of show all this empty. But if I really truly showed you what we had went through, there's people everywhere, wherever you try to go somewhere.
I will say that time of year is very important for Baha Mar because they are very busy during holidays. They're very busy during spring break. And the week that you went was what we call ski week here. So a lot of schools have that week off. And so I'm not surprised that it was very crowded. I went in June and it was very light. I had no problems with crowds. And
Oh, I'm going in June.
yeah, I don't think you're going to have a problem when you go because most people are going to Europe, right? That's where everybody flocks to in the summertime. They go to Europe.
Yeah, I think that's a good tip because I was talking to some of the staff and, I was asking about pricing and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, how full is the resort? And she said President's Day weekend, they were at 90%. And I go, how much is 90%? She goes, it's a lot of people. It was a lot of people when we were there.
I'm just still stuck on the ski week. I mean, I live here in Miami. We don't have a beach week.
You should have one.
I need to talk to our governor.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, one more tip that I have is if you are going to do any of these restaurants, you want to make a reservation as far in advance that you can, because by the time we got there, everything was booked. They couldn't get us in anywhere. And we even had the butler for the reserve where we were staying in.
Ooh, you had a butler, Mitch?
Yes.
That's why he had that service charge.
That's right.
Butler service charge.
Because we were upgraded to the reserve, it came with the butler service, and it was okay. I wouldn't say it's like Maldives butler, but
Of course not.
why am I comparing this to the Maldives, right? But yeah, they couldn't get us any reservations at restaurants or anything. And we had a friend stay at the Rosewood, which is another property there, a couple weeks ago. And even them staying at the Rosewood, that couldn't even help them get reservations as well. So if you're going to make reservations for one of these restaurants, do it as far in advance as you can.
Like now?
Yeah.
Are the restaurants shared by all the 3 hotels?
Yes, they are. So some of the restaurants are in the Rosewood, some of them are in the SLS, some of them are in the Grand Hyatt, but they're all kind of intermingled, and you kind of get this bracelet, and the bracelet is kind of like your payment pretty much kind of wherever you go, or you just give them your room and your room number. Those are the 2 ways that you do that.
Isn't there like over 40 restaurants or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants. There's Asian, there's Italian. So we also ate at the pizza place, and that was one place we actually did enjoy. It was really good.
Do you need reservations for that one?
No, didn't need reservations at all. We walked right in.
Pizza it is.
Pizza Lab is a favorite because it's also one of the lower priced restaurants. So it's a good one for families.
Now, the other thing too for Miguel is they have the kids eat free for certain restaurants that you go to. And you may want to research that as well. I didn't do too much research in that because obviously I don't have kids, but we saw a couple of parents with their kids eating at these restaurants. And I think that's another way that you could save a little bit of money too.
Yeah. So 5 and under, they get to eat free at some of the restaurants. But, my kids, when they went, they were over 5. And when we dined at Costa, for example, the waiter just said, "Oh, your kids are free." And so that was a surprise.
I guess My kids are 5, I guess.
So your mileage may vary.
In Vegas, they had like child pricing for the buffet. I think it was up to 6, and my daughter's 8. I said, "Hey, you're 6 today." She's like, "What?"
I do that all the time too.
All the time. So on this next trip that we're going to the safari, I'm like, Nyla, you're 11. We're the tightest bra you can find. I just saved $74. Okay, you're 11.
Yes.
Sometimes she'll be like, how old am I today? I'm like, good.
She understood the assignment.
Yeah.
She definitely did.
Mitch, please tell us about the breakfast.
So the breakfast is Serena approved because you can take your Ziploc bags in there and you can load them up.
Definitely
easily.
a Ziploc bag breakfast.
So here's a good note about the breakfast. So Monday through Saturday, it goes from 6 till noon at the Regatta. And if you have globalist status, it's going to take care of that bill because for 4 people, it was $200. But that was great getting that removed. And then on Sunday, it goes from 6 to 11. So if you kind of hold off a little bit later in the day, you can go to breakfast a little bit later and you can load up your Ziploc bag and then you can be set if you eat later. Skip lunch, have a dinner. The food, it was, I'll be honest, it was okay. They had different selections every day. Nothing I'd write home about, but I mean, it's a breakfast buffet bar, so load yourself up.
No shrimp dumplings?
Well, one day they did have buns, but the next day they had Tom Yum Gai, and according to Mama, that was not Tom Yum Gai.
No pad thai, no Tom Yum Gai. Yes. They should just stop.
The Asian section is not what you want to go for. The Asian section was very limited. So if you like the Asian food, not your thing. But they had a meats and cheese type of station. That was loaded really well. So you'll do really well there.
I remember their breakfast being massive, and I was really impressed with the variety. And so I think families will really enjoy it, especially as globalists, because you don't have to pay for it, and there's a variety of things that you could choose from. Even the pickiest eaters will be happy.
So I have a couple questions. So the first one is, how long did you go for? And, to know if that's enough or too much or too little. And did you see flamingos?
So we went for a total of 4 nights. We did 1 night at the Courtyard Marriott and then the other 3 at the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar. Did we stay long enough? Yeah, I think at the end we were ready to leave. So it was just a lot of people. So for us, we were kind of over it. Second question, we did see flamingos. So one of the other things that's included in your resort fee is you get a walk with the flamingos. Well, what they don't tell you is everyone shows up for that. So there was probably 50 people there for the flamingo walk, and we're like, you know what? We've got our pictures. We're good. We're moving on. So we didn't walk with the flamingos. But yes, you can see and walk with flamingos. It's included in your resort fee.
Because one of my kids, that's their favorite animal. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So that's why I was asking about the flamingo specifically.
She's going to love it.
How favorite of a kid is that of yours? Because it costs $100 to do the flamingo experience where you get to get in and touch them and everything.
Oh, dear. $100 per person?
$100 per head, yes.
Can she go unsupervised? Can I drop her off?
Can I just send her? That's only if you're doing a special flamingo experience. The walk, the parade with the flamingos, and you get to take pictures with them afterwards. That's free. Okay, so after hearing everything that you've heard, I want to know, Nicole, are you keeping your reservation? Miguel,
No.
Are you keeping your reservation?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think I'm still going, but before I tell you, I guess I'd still like to know about the flight, because I'm also flying JetBlue Mint on the way back. So how was that?
Okay, so out of the entire trip, Miguel, you helping me book this JetBlue flight, this was the highlight of the trip for me. This is what I loved so much, was the JetBlue flight coming back home. So Mint from Nassau to LA, flight time ended up being 6 hours and 10 minutes. So it was a really long flight. 2 of the 4 of us, we've got the throne seats. We lucked out with that. Great flight, great product, great service. And we booked this for only 34,000 JetBlue points, and we got a transfer bonus from Chase when we did it. So that was like the icing on the cake, because these Mint flights, for that type of flight, you're paying easily 70, 80, probably way more than that in points. So we really scored really well. So Miguel, you are the master. You know all these insider tips and tricks, and thank you for searching and finding that.
So was this a special promotional offer for this flight?
Yeah, I don't think there was a special promotion for the flight itself, but JetBlue points are kind of have like a fixed value. So if there's a deal on airfare in general, then that's going to require less points for that to redeem for that flight. The icing on the cake, like Mitch was saying, also was there was a transfer bonus from Chase. So that, meant that you could redeem even less points than what was required. So those two things combined made it a pretty attractive deal when we booked it. So what about the food? Because that's one thing I'm looking forward to on this flight, because I hear you get to pick like 3 different things, instead of like a big entree or something like that. How was that?
Yeah, so I guess they have a special menu out of the Bahamas that's not part of their normal Mint network because the catering there is kind of limited. So they give you a menu and it has 5 items on it and you can choose 3 of the 5. And I chose the snapper, I chose the salad, and I chose the Jamaican stew. And the Jamaican stew is kind of okay. The snapper was good.
It's just
the
okay.
salad was great.
It's just okay, Nicole.
Yeah, because it's Jamaican stew from Bahamas.
You got to get the Jamaican stew in Jamaica.
Right.
Oh, dear. Okay.
The highlight for me was the coconut carrot cake for dessert, because it wasn't made out of dairy. It was dairy free and it was really good. That's the thing about Mint, is the service I thought was really well for a domestic flight. The seat was great. They had the direct TV that you can watch. It was a great product coming home. It came with a pillow, blanket. We could sleep. We could order food. We could order drinks. It was really solid. And Serena, have you ever been on JetBlue?
In economy.
Okay. Has your mom been on JetBlue?
No, I don't
Oh,
think she
dear.
has.
Is this pillowcase approved? Can she stuff a lot of things in her pillowcase?
So on our plane, they had the little JetBlue snack area. So they had all these snacks. They had a refrigerator full of soda, so you could go and help yourself. So your mom would be all over this.
Is this just for Mint?
No, this is for the main cabin. So it was right behind Mint class, but there was a lavatory there as well. So I kind of walked back. I was kind of, looking around the airplane. I wanted to take a look, and they had this whole little snack and drink section. And I'm like, Serena's mom would love this.
Nice.
So this flight is surely approved.
Oh, easily.
Oh, great. Now she's going to text me. Can you book me in Mint?
All right, Mitch, I'm glad to hear you had a wonderful trip in the Bahamas. I can't wait to hear about Miguel's experience, because I'm going to live vicariously through all 3 of you.
So you're out, Nicole, huh?
I'm out.
That's what she's saying.
I think it would be a waste of points for you to take your family there, because I don't think your kids would really enjoy the water park. Miguel and his family, yeah, they're going to have a great time. All the pools and everything, they're really going to enjoy it. So I think your kids are just probably a little too older to really enjoy it.
Plus, it's going to make me look super cool, because I'm going to be like, guess what, kids? We've canceled and you get to stay home for 4th of July. To be like, yes.
That's until you book your next trip, because now 4th of July will be open again.
Exactly. I know you're going to put something else there.
I'm leaving it open. You heard it here, episode 42. I'll be at home. They will be at home for 4th of July.
You're welcome, Nyla. All right, it's now time to move on to our weekly recap. It's now time for our weekly recap, where we share our tips and insider lessons with you from the stuff that we've recently booked. So I think this week we got to talk about it. All these devaluations, the changes, Hyatt, ANA, it's overwhelming. What are you guys doing?
So I kind of want to withdraw from this segment, because a lot of stuff that I have booked and mentioned in the segment prior, I end up canceling. So
Wait. Which ones did you cancel?
all my hotels for Tokyo, I ended up changing all that around. And so that was a mess. But I don't know, maybe we should have a new segment like what we canceled.
Because Nicole's canceling Bahamar.
Yeah.
First on the list. Yeah. So Sarita, I know you book your trips a long time in advance. How did the Hyatt shift? Did you book anything in advance? Are you canceling anything?
Hyatt made these category changes. This happens every year. And so we got the list at the end of February, and some of their properties will be increasing in categories and some of them will be decreasing in categories. This happens every year. So every year around March, you should anticipate Hyatt devaluing some properties. And so I took this opportunity to take a look at the list to see what I might want to book now. We have until Monday, March 25th to book the properties that we want at the current rates. If you're booking anything on March 26th or later, you're going to have to pay the new rates, whether that's higher or lower. And this date of Monday, March 25th, it doesn't mean you have to stay by then. It just means you have to book by then. You can book any property on the list through the end of the calendar. And for some of these properties, the calendar is 18 months out. So you can even be thinking about next spring break, next summer. So here are some of the properties that I'm looking at. I have a stay coming up in Miami for this summer, and I've been dragging my feet about which property I want to stay at. I've been asking my mom which one she wants to stay at. She couldn't make up her mind. She just said she didn't want to stay at the same Hyatt Regency she did last year. So on this list, I saw that the Hyatt Regency Coral Gables is going up a category. That lit a fire under me, and so I decided I'm going to book this one. You know what? A lot of people say great things about the Coral Gables property. Nicole confirms it, and so I decided to book that one for my family for this summer. Another one that I'm looking at, and I'm actually kind of excited about this one. This is a Hyatt Regency in Scottsdale at Gainey Ranch. They are currently going through a renovation, a full renovation. The entire property is going to be redone, and some of the rooms too. And they're also going to rebrand as a Grand Hyatt. And this one is actually going to go up in category. I wanted to wait until after the renovations are completed before I stay there. So I decided to take the leap, hope that the renovations will be done later in the year, and I booked a stay at this Gainey Ranch property. Another one that I've been looking at is the Hyatt Regency Tamaya. This is in New Mexico, and I've been eyeing this property especially for the balloon fiesta in October. I haven't booked it yet, but it's something that I am looking at, and if you're interested in this property, you might want to take a look at it as well. Some things in California. We finally are getting a Category 1 property in California. It's called the Wild Palms. It is in the Bay Area, and it's now going to be only 3,500 points off peak. If you're in the Bay Area, I think this would be a great place to do a mattress run.
But this property is going down a category, so you don't need to book this before the change. So after March 25th, you'll be able to book it at the lower rate. That is, as few as 3,500 points off peak. So you don't need to hurry up and book this one. That's going to be the new rate, at least until next year.
Another one in California is the Manchester Grand Hyatt in San Diego. Now, this one is a favorite because you can use a Category 1 to 4 free night certificate at this property, but now it's going to be a Category 5. People love this one because they have a club lounge. They're also very good with their globalist recognition. I was upgraded to a suite at this property, and it had a humongous living room with a bedroom that had 2 beds in it, which is really rare. This is definitely a property to look at. So this property is going up to a Category 5, and you will no longer be able to use a Category 1 through 4 certificate at this property. Now, 2 more I want to mention that's really, really sad, actually. The Hyatt Zivas, Cap Cana in the Dominican Republic and in Cancun. These are jumping to Category F all-inclusive properties, which means now they're going to cost 50,000 points per night at standard rates. And that's only for 2 people. If you have kids, you have to pay extra for them. This is definitely something that you would want to book ahead of time if you're looking at these all-inclusives. The Cap Cana one I went to last summer, and we loved it there, so I highly recommend it. I paid only 25,000 points a night for this property. So now it's going to be 50. It really just excludes a lot of families from being able to go there. At that point, I probably just want to pay cash for it if I find a deal. So definitely look at that one. And another thing about these 2 Ziva properties, they are bookable for the next 18 months. So the calendar is open through the end of August. So you can think of these for next summer if these are on your list.
So Serena, if we do advanced point booking for any of these properties, do they keep the lower rate?
So great question. So Hyatt Globalists have this great perk where you're able to book hotels without even having the points yet. You can book these properties by contacting either Hyatt on Twitter or the X app, or even calling your concierge. They will be able to book these properties for you. You don't even need to have the points in your account yet. The requirement is you need to have them in your account 7 days in advance of your stay. In this case, where you're booking a points advance for these properties that are going up a category, yes, they were going to honor the lower points booking. So I can book for something for next summer for one of these Ziva properties. They will honor the lower rate. I will not have to pay the higher category F rate. But one of the things you have to know is you're going to have to call and make sure that they honor the old rate for you when you do end up having them pull the points from your account, because some of them won't know that you booked this pre-devaluation. So you want to make sure and check your account to make sure that they withdraw the right number of points.
2 points to add to that. This is absolutely one of my favorite features of being a globalist is the advanced point booking. Like if you go into my Hyatt app, probably the amount of alerts that Serena has for Seats.aero, that's probably how many reservations I have. What I do about those points when it's about time to apply the points to these advanced point stay, I call in and have them do it on the phone while I'm with them rather than wait for the hotel to withdraw the points. That way they can do it on the phone while you're with them and you can make sure they withdraw the right amount of points for the reservation. So about this Hyatt devaluation, for me, it wasn't that bad because I'm booked all the way till January 2025. So when I looked at the list, all right, I got that. No big deal. None of these things so far are on my list. But then I saw Hyatt Regency Cape Town. And that was going down.
Oh, yay.
Not yay.
Oh, no, yay.
No, because I check out on the 26th.
You might have to move some things around.
It's fine. You win some and you lose some.
You win some and you lose some.
Apparently, I'll be losing 12,000 points, but that's not so bad. So the only other one that I booked was the Hyatt Regency in Thailand. That one's going up in value. So I was able to get it at the lower rates. Is there anything else that anybody else booked that is probably going to go up or go down on the day that you check out?
So I don't really bother too much with this. Last year, I specifically didn't want to go into it because I felt like if I booked this, I was going to try too hard to make these reservations. So I was like, if it's not in my plan, I'm not worried about it. But I don't know, that Ziva in Cap Cana sounds pretty nice. So maybe I should at least preemptively book that one with advanced points reservation.
It's a little late in the episode, but the Lounge Lizard is making an appearance.
It's about time.
Right? Priority Pass Lounge in the DR has a pool there. Serena, didn't you visit that pool?
I did. It's very nice.
So I believe the last time I heard, I'm sure you're not flying Southwest, but I think if you're flying Southwest, it flies out of a different terminal from the Priority Pass. So if you're leaving out of the DR, try not to leave on a Southwest flight so you can have access to the pool in case you want to wear your wet swimsuit on a 6-hour flight back home.
Something that is important to mention is this: if you reserve one of these properties and your dates change, they're going to have to cancel you and rebook you at the new prices. So you're going to want to make sure that you have your dates correct. That'll be really sad if you end up having to pay more points when the whole purpose of this was to avoid that.
Or make multiple bookings. One from Thursday to Friday, one from Saturday to Tuesday, one from Sunday to Wednesday.
That's right. Or one day at a time.
One daily, and you can just take off from the ends if you need to.
That's right. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I also think Hyatt watched Mitch's Andaz Pattaya and Andaz Bali episodes and realized we need to kick these up a notch. So those are also going up.
Those were the three that I saw that made me really sad was Andaz Pattaya, Andaz Bali, and then the Andaz Singapore. They're all going up, and those were three properties that were great, and it made me really sad.
Earn and burn.
100%. So the Thompson in Madrid, that was a whim of a trip, and that used to be a category 4. And I think that is now going up to a category 6. It moved last year from 4 to 5, and now it's going from 5 to 6. That's also an amazing property.
Was that true alarm?
No, it's great because it just proves that you have tons of alarms on your phone.
Yeah. I want to make sure that I book all these things before the devaluation takes into effect. And I set an alarm for you, Miguel. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You'll be booking Capcana tonight.
Okay, I have one more to add. There are some properties in Germany that are going up, and I have a stay in Frankfurt. So I need to make sure that I get that stay. I think I have one night in Frankfurt that I need to reserve. So I need to do that. I need to figure out which one of those properties. A few of them are Lindners, which I've never stayed at before. They are Joie de Vivre properties. So I could check that off my Hyatt bingo.
Is that what JDV is?
Yeah.
I didn't know what JDV stood
Right?
for. I just know that's... Oh.
I believe so. Nicole, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, that's what it stands for.
Because you and your je ne sais quoi, I figured.
It's funny you mentioned those because I have one of those booked in Germany for the Berlin Marathon, and that one is also going up. So I had booked all of these, not even thinking about the devaluation. And it's a good thing I did because now they're on the list.
Yeah, those are really good deals. I know the one in Prague is like a really good deal all the time compared to the cash rate.
So I paid 6,500 points a night. And during the Berlin Marathon season, it's almost like $500 a night.
Wow.
I wanted to be all fancy and stay at the Grand Hyatt Berlin, but
It's just a runcation.
just a runcation. Make sure to book these hotels before March 26th so that you can get the lower rate that they're being offered at.
And don't wait till the last minute because phone lines might be tied up. They might not respond over chat.
Yeah, Serena. So that's some really good advice. You want to book right away. You don't want to wait to the last minute and miss out on these. So get it done. Do it now. And also about Alaska and ANA, we're going to talk about those in the next couple of episodes from now. But before she devalues and leaves us, I think it's time for Nicole to talk about some wins and losses. Nicole, wins and losses. What do you got?
I just want to let you know, Nicole's only appreciate.
Okay, good. Nicole does not devalue. That's good.
All right. We have a few returning favorites. Wanda Rio bought $100 in gift cards and realized later that she had to pay an activation fee.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah, if you want to do the gift card thing, you want to buy these gift cards when they have a promotion. And these are frequent promotions that come and go with Office Max, Office Depot, and Staples. So when they do have these sales, that's when you want to get the gift cards because you're not paying that activation fee.
Yeah, been there, done it, did it, got the t-shirt. So don't feel so bad.
All right. Yardy Gal says she booked a new Westin in Bora Bora and canceled her St. Regis and got her points back. I don't know how Serena feels about that.
I think the Westin's still a good choice. I passed by it and they were still working hard on it, but I think you should stay at both. Split your stay.
All right. New Woods completed her brand new Hyatt bingo stay. Mitch, you're going to like this one.
Okay.
The real Gene PB booked Starlux for his Taipei trip.
Oh, good job,
exciting.
Gene.
Yes, want to see that.
Everyday travel hacker used AA Gold status to book basic economy and still got to pick her seats without paying. Lisa Bonito totally changed her Maui itinerary and teaches her that she has to be flexible in trip planning, but at least it was free for her to change. Jess Chan is back. She booked her family trip to Asheville for 14,000 American Airlines points round trip. That's a pretty good deal.
That's a good rate.
Asheville? Keep sending us your wins and losses. We love hearing the things that you booked, the trips that you're planning, and we love learning from the lessons that you have also. So we'll see you soon. Keep sending them on.
Hi, my name is Mike Jeffrey from Atlanta. I listen to the podcast and I follow each one of you on social media. I'm somewhat new to the Points and Mile hobby, but I've learned from you guys and from the community how to maximize my earning potentials and how to redeem my points for the highest value. And in fact, I was able to score a bucket list flight recently, flying on the Etihad A380 apartment. Sorry, Serena. But now I've gotten to the point where I have so many trips in the future coming up. And my question to you guys is, how do you make sure you are prepared for each flight? How do you make sure you are organized before going on trips? How does your wallet look like? What are some of the gadget or accessories that you make sure you pack before you go on each trip? Thanks so much.
Hi, Mick Jeffrey. First off, thank you for your question. And first off, no apology needed for Serena for the Etihad flight.
Speak for yourself, Mitch.
Yeah. Hey, you're pretty numb at this point, right?
We almost got through the episode without mentioning it.
Oh my God.
But great question. And I think, we got a great panel here to answer those. And Serena, go first.
Hi, McJeffrey. Thank you so much for expressing your empathy toward my situation. For being a newbie and booking Etihad apartments, congratulations. Even if they put me through hell and they are dead to me, I still want to celebrate with you for this win. So how do I prepare for flights? I think that seat selection for me is very important because a lot of times the seats in even the same cabin can be so different. Sometimes there are bulkhead seats that are more desirable than the rest of the seats in business class. There are even business class seats with no windows. There are some business class seats with more favorable window orientation, like what we're seeing on Starlux. So I think seat selection for me is very important. So I will do some research ahead of time. I'll look at Seat Guru. I will look on Aeroloba to make sure I'm selecting the seat that I want to be in with a good, nice window. Another thing that I pay attention to is which side of the plane I want to be on, left or right. So I actually look on Flight Radar 24 and I watch the flight path for the route that I'm going on to decide what view I want. Do I want to see Dubai on approach or when we're taking off? Do I want a good view of San Francisco? That never gets old for me, especially being born and raised here. And then do I want to see the Northern Lights when I'm flying on Qatar Q Suite? All that matters to me. So I will do my research ahead of time and select accordingly.
Hi, McJeffrey. Yeah, so that's some great advice there, Serena. So my first bit of advice for you is since you have so many trips planned, it's best to treat them like you would treat maybe your garden. I like to think of the need to trim them every now and then, water them, feed them. And what I mean is you want to check on them. Sometimes there's an aircraft swap, a schedule change, something. And most times they'll email you, but something could be missed. So I think it's always best to keep an eye on them and make sure that there's been no drastic changes. Check the reservation a couple of times a month. Just keep an eye on it. Second thing is I have our very own travel wallet and I have it right here. So it's this very small foldable pouch that I keep all our credit cards in that we might use for the trip along the way. I keep some cash in there. If I got any leftover currency from a previous trip, I keep it in there too. Copies of our passports, a couple other things as well. I guard this thing with my life and I keep it very close to me, keep it separate from our regular wallet, and then I lock it in the safe when we get to the hotel. It's kind of like our backup system if we ever lose our wallets or they get stolen or something like that. The other thing that we do is we pack a very small cloth grocery bag, these tote bags that I got right here. Because you're going to be getting a lot of pajamas, you're going to be getting a lot of other amenity kits and stuff, and you're going to need an easy place to put them. So once you're on board, your baggage limits, kind of over at that point. So whip it out, load it up. Just be careful if you got a connecting flight. And my final thing is, I'm just going to admit it. I'm a pillow snob. I cannot stand feather pillows, hard pillows. I'm very particular about my pillow that I need. So I will pack a full-size pillow and I will put it in my carry-on bag in a big Ziploc bag and I'll take all the air out. Drives Poet nuts, but I got to have my pillow. So.
Oh my gosh, Mitch, this is something I never knew about you.
Yeah, you can hear the crinkling of the plastic as we're on descent as I'm trying to get it back into my bag, but yeah.
It's a blow-up pillow?
No, it's a regular cotton pillow, but I put it in a big Ziploc bag to reduce the space.
Bags.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So you guys won't judge me. Can I buy you off with a couple Singapore dollars here? I got 50. I got.
No, judgment is already late.
That's right. Too late.
I have a special name for that grocery bag. I think we should call it the Shirley sack.
I think she'll like that.
The Shirley sack. What's in Shirley's sack?
So you guys are very sophisticated. I'm a little discombobulated when it comes to trip planning. All my stuff is in the Notes app on the phone. I'm trying to use the TripIt app, but I just keep going back to my Notes app. I like to add and delete. When I decide on my destination, I first check one of these 3 people to see if they've actually been to that destination. Usually Serena has a highlight bubble because Serena's been everywhere in the world. And so I check her highlight bubble and I make little notes of like, this destination looks like something my family could do. Oh, Miguel went here. Mitch hates this place. Totally take notes of that. And then I add it to my notes app. The second place I check is Choose to Explore, either his YouTube channel or one of his itinerary or travel plans, because I like to travel on a budget. Shu likes to travel on a budget. So it goes hand in hand. And I don't have any sophisticated apps that I use. I just think it's easier for me to deal with it in the notes app. So I check the excursion. I write the price of the excursion down. If I book through a travel portal, I put how many points I was supposed to earn through the travel portal. I will put the dates, the time. I usually put local time because sometimes I mix them up. I have missed a couple of reservations because of that. So make sure you put the local time. That's usually the way I do it. But what about you, Miguel? How do you go about planning these trips that you have?
So I kind of just wing it. But as far as the flights, I've been using the Flighty app, and that's pretty good, especially if you have a lot of trips planned, because not only will it keep track of them, but it will give you any updates if there's an aircraft swap or anything like that. And when you're actually traveling, if there's a delay, it'll notify you of that. It'll tell you which gate you're going to arrive at, where your baggage claim is. Like, it's a pretty good app for organization. So that's the app I use for that. As far as packing, my wife mostly takes care of that. As far as gadgets, if you ever see me at an airport, I'm probably wearing these, like noise canceling headphones. I take those everywhere. And I got this thing to organize chargers because I have a lot of chargers for my headphones, my phone, my computer. And so I got this thing like at Ross, and it's just to keep track of, or to put all your cables in. And lately I've been carrying this microphone around because I've been having to record from the road.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, McJeffrey, for sending us your video question. It's so easy for you to be on our show. Simply drop us a line on any one of our social media channels or visit our website, letsgettothepoints.com, and we'll answer your questions right here.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates when we release a new episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and leave us a comment below.
Also, feel free to subscribe to us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And send us a DM if you have any thoughts or ideas on our show.
And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, we'd love it if you wrote us a 5-star review for us there.
That's it for now. I want to thank all of our hosts. It's Serena.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Miguel.
Later.
And it's always good to see you too, Nicole.
See you guys next week.
And I'm Mitch Shannon. You can find out more about us at our website, letsgettothepoints.com, and we'll all see you here next Friday. Thanks for watching and listening.
Let's get to the points.com.